Ladies and gentlemen, there's a place we all know too well, a place of ease, of familiarity. We call it the comfort zone. It's warm, it's predictable, and it feels safe, doesn't it? But let me tell you something, nothing grows there. Life, my friends, was never meant to be lived in the shadow of comfort. It's meant to be a journey, a daring expedition, filled with mountains to climb and oceans to cross. You see, the magic of life, the true essence of who you are, lies just beyond that invisible barrier you've built around yourself. Now, I won't sugarcoat it. Stepping outside that comfort zone is terrifying. Your heart will race, your hands might shake, and doubt will whisper in your ear, telling you to turn back. But let me ask you this, would you rather live a life of quiet regret, wondering what could have been? Or would you dare to chase the extraordinary? You weren't put on this earth to simply exist. You were made to thrive, to push boundaries, to break free of chains you didn't even realize were there. Each time you step out of your comfort zone, you grow. Your mind expands. Your spirit strengthens. And your dreams, they start to feel just a little closer. Failure? Oh, it might happen. It probably will. But failure, my friends, is a teacher, one of the finest you'll ever know. It humbles you. It refines you. And it prepares you for the victories that lie ahead. So today I urge you, take the leap. Say yes to the challenge. Walk into the unknown and face it with courage. Because the world isn't changed by those who play it safe. It's changed by those who dare. Your future self is waiting for you, not in the comfort of the present, but in the promise of what lies ahead. So go. Leave the comfort zone behind, because the greatest version of you is on the other side. The comfort zone, it's that place where everything feels easy, predictable, and safe. But here's the truth, nothing grows there. It's like standing in a garden, expecting flowers to bloom without ever planting a seed. Life, in all its beauty and potential, doesn't happen in the stillness of what's familiar. It happens when you step into the unknown, when you challenge yourself to reach for something greater. Comfort might feel good, but it keeps you stagnant. And you weren't born to stand still, you were born to grow. Life is not meant to be a quiet stroll through the familiar. It's an expedition, a daring journey through peaks and valleys that test your limits and shape who you are. Imagine standing on the edge of a vast ocean, waves stretching out into the horizon. You can stay where it's safe, where the shore cradles your feet, but you'll never know the adventure waiting out there on the open sea. That's the essence of life, to push beyond the ordinary, to face the storms and the unknown with courage. Every step you take into uncharted waters adds depth to your story, and in that process you discover parts of yourself you never knew existed. And yet, leaving that comfort zone feels terrifying, doesn't it? The heart races, doubt creeps in, and you find yourself questioning if you should stay in the warmth of what you know. But let me ask you, what's more frightening? Facing those fears, or spending your days wondering what could have been? You see, extraordinary things don't happen to those who cling to the ordinary. The greatest achievements, the most fulfilling moments in life, are born when we dare to take that leap. Fear is not a wall to stop you, but a signal that you're on the edge of something incredible. Step forward and you'll find that the unknown isn't as daunting as it seems. It's where you'll meet the person you're meant to be. The magic of life, the kind that fills your heart with awe and your soul with purpose, is never found where it's comfortable. It waits for you just beyond the edges of the familiar, in the places where fear and excitement dance together. Imagine standing at the doorway of a room bathed in light, yet beyond it, there's a vast world filled with colors you've never seen and paths you've never walked. That's where the true essence of life resides, beyond the threshold, waiting for you to step forward. The question is, will you cross it? Of course, stepping out is frightening. The unknown is a shadowy figure that whispers doubts into your mind. Your pulse quickens, your knees tremble, and everything in you screams to turn back. But here's the truth, fear isn't your enemy. It's your compass, pointing you toward the very things that will transform you. Growth begins where fear takes root, and every time you face it, you weaken its grip and strengthen your resolve. When you take that step, something remarkable happens. The impossible starts to seem within reach, and the dreams you once thought were too big or too distant suddenly feel closer. You become more than you were, a little braver, a little stronger, and a lot more alive. That's the power of pushing past the comfort zone. It reveals not just the world's possibilities, but the extraordinary potential you've always carried within you. And that, my friend, is worth every trembling step. Stepping out of what's comfortable isn't easy, it never has been. But it's in that daring move, that bold step into the unknown, where you unlock the extraordinary. Think about the greatest stories ever told, the people who changed the world, the legends who inspire us. None of them lived their lives in the safety of what they knew. They took risks. They dared to try. And because they did, they created something far greater than what they could have ever imagined within the bounds of comfort. But here's the challenge: fear will always stand in your way. It will whisper to you, louder and louder, as you get closer to crossing that line. It will tell you to turn back, that it's safer to stay put, that failure is waiting for you. And you might even believe it, because fear knows exactly how to sound convincing. But here's a truth that fear doesn't want you to know: it's a liar. Fear doesn't exist to protect you, it exists to test you, to see if you're willing to rise above it. Now imagine this: your future self, standing in a life built on courage and resilience, looking back at the choices you make today. What would that version of you say? Would they thank you for taking the leap, for walking the hard road, for choosing bravery over comfort? Or would they be haunted by the chances you didn't take, the dreams you let slip away? Regret is a heavy burden, far heavier than the weight of fear or failure. You see, the truth is simple: you can't reach for greatness while clinging to the familiar. The world doesn't reward those who play it safe. It rewards the ones who venture beyond, who take the leap, and who trust that even if they fall, they'll find a way to rise again. Greatness lives on the other side of comfort, and the path there begins with one small, courageous step forward. Regret is a quiet thing, but it lingers. It doesn't shout or demand attention, it waits. Years down the road, it shows up in your quietest moments, asking questions that can't be ignored. What if I had tried? What if I had dared to step beyond what I knew? That's the weight of staying in your comfort zone. It feels light in the moment, but over time it becomes the heaviest burden of all. Now think about the moments in life that truly matter. They're not the ones where everything was easy or safe. No, they're the moments when you were uncertain, scared even, but you chose to move forward anyway. Growth doesn't come wrapped in comfort. It comes when you challenge yourself, when you stretch beyond what you think you're capable of. Every step forward outside the familiar is a step closer to becoming the person you're meant to be. And yes, the unknown can be intimidating. It's human to fear what we can't predict. But staying where it's comfortable is the same as pressing pause on your own story. Life was never meant to be stagnant. It's meant to move, to evolve, to flow like a river carving its way through mountains. The truth is, fear is the price of admission for a meaningful life. When you face that fear, you start to see something incredible: your potential. It's not small, not limited, as you might have thought. It's vast, waiting for you to uncover it. Each risk, each challenge, each stumble, these are the things that shape you, the things that turn dreams into reality. So, ask yourself, what kind of life do you want to live? One filled with what ifs, or one defined by courage, growth, and discovery? The choice is yours. But know this: the best things in life don't come to those who wait. They come to those who dare. Every time you take a step outside your comfort zone, something remarkable happens. You grow. It may not be immediate, and it may not even feel comfortable at first, but growth is inevitable when you face the challenges that lie beyond what you know. Think of it like a seed planted in rocky soil. At first it struggles to break through, but with time and persistence it reaches for the sun and transforms into something magnificent. That's what happens to your spirit when you embrace the unknown. It expands, it strengthens, and it flourishes. The world has a way of rewarding those who are willing to stretch themselves. You see, every time you confront your limits, you push them a little further. You realize that what once seemed impossible is now well within your grasp. And with every victory, no matter how small, you build a foundation of confidence, a belief that you can handle whatever comes next. That's how dreams are built, one courageous step at a time. But let me tell you this, it won't always be easy. Growth is often uncomfortable, and it can be messy. There will be moments of doubt, times when you question if it's worth it. Yet those are the moments that matter most, the ones that test your resolve and your commitment to becoming something greater. And when you push through, when you keep going even when it's hard, you'll look back and realize that every struggle was a step toward a better version of yourself. The funny thing about leaving the comfort zone is that it doesn't just change the world around you, it changes the way you see yourself. You begin to understand just how capable you are. The challenges that once seemed insurmountable now feel like stepping stones. You start to believe in your own strength, not because someone told you to, but because you proved it to yourself. And that's the beauty of it all. Growth is a lifelong journey. There's no finish line, no moment when you've made it. There's always another mountain to climb, another horizon to chase. But with every step, you become more resilient, more fearless, and more alive. That's the power of stepping outside your comfort zone. It transforms not just your life, but who you are. So take that step. Grow into the person you were always meant to be. Because every time you do, you're moving closer to a life filled with meaning, purpose, and endless possibility. Failure. It's a word that sends shivers down the spine, isn't it? We fear it, avoid it, and often let it hold us back. But what if I told you that failure isn't your enemy? No, it's one of the finest teachers life can offer. When you fall short, it doesn't mean you're defeated, it means you're learning. Every stumble, every mistake, it's all part of the process that shapes you into someone stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the challenges ahead. Life is a journey, and like any journey, it's filled with moments where you have to choose stay where it's comfortable, or take the road less traveled. The truth is that path, the one less walked, the one that feels uncertain, is where you'll find your greatest opportunities. It's easy to remain in the familiar, to stay within the boundaries of what you already know. But in doing so, you miss out on all that the world has to offer. It's only by stepping out that you open yourself to the unexpected, to the beautiful chaos of life. We're all capable of so much more than we realize. Often we're our own biggest barrier, locked behind the walls of fear and doubt we've built. But once you take that first step beyond those walls, you begin to see what you're truly capable of. You'll realize that the limits you thought existed were merely illusions, and that there's so much more waiting for you on the other side of your comfort zone. And yes, it's uncomfortable. It's scary. There will be moments when you question everything, when you doubt your strength and your resolve. But those moments, those struggles, are where you learn who you really are. They test you, they challenge you, and they push you to become someone greater than you were before. It's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you rise and what you learn in the process. The world doesn't reward comfort. It rewards those who dare, who push through the fear and the uncertainty, and reach for something greater. The truly great people in history, the ones who changed the world, didn't do it by staying safe. They did it by embracing the unknown, by risking failure, and by holding on to their belief that they were capable of more. Failure, too, is an inevitable part of the journey. But failure is not the end, it's just a chapter, a moment in time. It's the lesson we need to grow, to understand that the road to success is often winding and unpredictable. Failure teaches us humility, resilience, and patience. It's the fire that tempers us, making us stronger, making us wiser. And yet, despite the fear and the failure, there's an undeniable truth that lies beyond it all. There is nothing more fulfilling than the pursuit of something bigger than yourself. When you reach for that dream, when you push through every obstacle and fight for what you believe in, you find meaning in the struggle. You find a life worth living. So ask yourself, what are you waiting for? The world is full of possibility, but it only opens its doors to those who have the courage to knock. The future isn't a place you stumble upon by accident. It's something you create by the choices you make today. The dreams you have, the ambitions that burn within you, they're all waiting for you to take action. The only way to discover who you truly are is to step outside what you know, to embrace the unknown, and to trust that you're capable of handling whatever comes your way. Growth, success, fulfillment, they're all just on the other side of fear. The question is, are you ready to cross that line? Life isn't meant to be spent in the shadows of comfort. No, it's meant to be lived in the full light of possibility, where you're constantly stretching, growing, and discovering what's just beyond the horizon. The comfort zone, while it may feel safe, keeps you small, keeps you locked in a cage of what's familiar. But out there, beyond that comfort, is where life truly happens, where growth takes root and dreams come alive. It's easy to let fear guide your decisions, to stay in the quiet, predictable places where you know what's coming next. But the truth is, nothing extraordinary ever came from playing it safe. Every great change, every major breakthrough happened because someone had the courage to move beyond what was comfortable, to take that first step into the unknown, even when it felt terrifying. But let's not sugarcoat it. Stepping into the unknown isn't simple. There will be moments when you wonder if it's worth it, when doubt creeps in and tells you that maybe it would be better to stay right where you are. Yet it's in those very moments of doubt, those moments when you feel like turning back, that you find the strength to push forward. It's a test of your resolve, a reminder that real growth comes with real challenges. Fear, as powerful as it may be, doesn't have the final say. It's there to show you what's possible when you choose to face it. Think of all the people who changed the world. Did they do so by staying in their comfort zones? No, they did it by facing their fear, by taking risks, by stepping out in ways that others were too afraid to. And in doing so, they discovered a strength within themselves they never knew existed. The beauty of leaving your comfort zone is that it reveals to you what you're truly capable of. Every step outside of it teaches you something about yourself. You discover a resilience, a tenacity that only shows up when you're forced to dig deep and rise above the fear that tries to hold you back. It's not just about what you achieve or what you gain, though. It's about who you become in the process. With every challenge, with every risk you take, you become a little bit stronger, a little more confident, a little closer to the person you were always meant to be. There will be failure, yes, but failure is not your enemy, it's your teacher. It humbles you, reshapes you, and shows you what doesn't work so you can move forward wiser and more prepared. Failure is not a stop sign, it's a lesson. One that will ultimately lead you to greater success if you choose to learn from it. When you make the choice to leave the comfort zone, you're not just changing your life, you're changing the world around you. The things you'll experience, the people you'll meet, the opportunities that will arise, all of that is only possible if you have the courage to take that first step. You don't have to see the entire path ahead of you. In fact, most of the time you won't. But that's the beauty of it. You trust that each step, each move forward, will guide you towards something greater than you could ever imagine. The future isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you create with the choices you make today. So ask yourself, are you ready to leave your comfort zone? Are you ready to face the fear? To embrace the challenge? To take the leap into the unknown? Because that's where life begins, and that's where your greatest potential lies. The only way to truly live is to step beyond what's easy, beyond what's safe, and into the life you've always dreamed of. And it all starts with that one courageous step. Think of the great inventors, the visionaries, the pioneers. None of them succeeded without tasting failure first. It was in their moments of struggle, in the face of setbacks, that they found the strength to try again. And it was that persistence, that refusal to quit, that ultimately led to greatness. Failure refines you, it sharpens your character and tests your resolve. It asks you, how much do you want this? And if your answer is enough to keep going, then failure becomes your ally, not your foe. Now, let's be clear, failure doesn't feel good. It stings, sometimes deeply. But those moments of discomfort are where growth happens. When you fail, you gain something far more valuable than immediate success. You gain resilience. You learn how to adapt, how to adjust your sails when the winds of life change direction. And that, my friend, is a skill that will carry you farther than any single victory ever could. The truth is, success without failure is hollow. It's the struggles along the way that make the triumphs worth celebrating. It's the lessons learned in the hardest moments that prepare you for the opportunities that lie ahead. Failure is not a sign to stop, it's a signal to keep moving forward, to try again with more wisdom and greater determination. And here's the thing, failure doesn't define you. How you respond to it does. You can let it discourage you, or you can let it motivate you. You can let it close doors, or you can use it to open new ones. The choice is yours, and that choice determines the course of your journey. Every time you fail, you're one step closer to figuring it out. One step closer to the breakthrough. One step closer to the version of yourself that can handle whatever life throws your way. So, don't fear failure. Embrace it. Learn from it. Let it be the fire that fuels your drive to succeed. Because in the end, failure is not the opposite of success. It's a vital part of the path that leads you there. The world isn't shaped by those who stay in the shadows of their comfort zones. It's shaped by those who dare to take risks, who stand up against fear, and who boldly step into the unknown. Change, innovation, progress, these things don't come from playing it safe. They come from people who are willing to put their dreams on the line and say, I'll try, even if I might fail. Risk is what drives the world forward. It's the foundation of every breakthrough, every great leap, and every monumental achievement. Think of the explorers who crossed uncharted oceans, the scientists who challenged conventional thinking, or the artists who created something the world had never seen. None of them stayed where it was safe. They ventured out, sometimes blindly, trusting that their courage would lead them to something extraordinary. But here's the thing about taking risks: it doesn't guarantee success. No, it guarantees growth. Every step outside your comfort zone, every gamble you take, brings lessons that no amount of comfort could ever teach. Risk is a teacher, one that shows you what you're made of, even when the outcome isn't what you hoped for. The world rewards bravery in ways you might not see immediately. It opens doors you didn't know were there. It connects you with people, opportunities, and experiences that can transform your life. But none of that happens without a willingness to step forward, to leap when everything in you says to stay still. The truth is, comfort feels safe, but it comes with a cost. It keeps you small. It holds you back from your potential, from the incredible things you're capable of achieving. Risk, on the other hand, unlocks the extraordinary. It allows you to see what's possible, not just for the world, but for yourself. So if you're waiting for the perfect moment to take a chance, let me tell you, it will never come. There is no perfect moment, no certainty, no guarantees. There is only now, and the decision to act. And when you do, when you take that leap, you might just find that the risk was worth it. Because the world doesn't remember the ones who stayed comfortable. It remembers the ones who dared to make a difference. The ones who stepped into the unknown and changed it forever. That, my friend, is the power of taking risks.